Hi all, we'll continue with the General Studies paper 2 in the preliminary examination. We have covered what is there, what we need to study in the first paper. In detail, we have gone through the syllabus. Now we'll understand the General Studies paper 2, that is famously known as the Civil Service Aptitude Test. Okay, what is there in this book? And we all know that what is the minimum marks required to qualify in this paper, that is 33%. Okay, so if you are taking marks wise 66.67 marks, okay, you can take it like 67 marks. So out of 200, if you are able to score 67, that means you are qualified in the CSAT paper. Sir, what is the use of scoring 100, 120? So when we are able to score 67, that's enough, right? I will attempt only 25, 28, 30 questions. Please don't do that mistake. It has happened to many of my students that they have attempted very limited questions. If something goes bad, then the score, they will end up in scores like 64, 65, 66. That has happened. And another reason, another motivation to score higher is, suppose in case of tie happens in the score of the final result, whoever is scoring higher in the paper 2, that is CSAT, will also be counted. Okay, so my advice is, sincere advice is, at least try to score above 100 only, never below that. So assume that cutoff is 100 and score above it. Please don't ignore that. Okay, coming to part of the syllabus. So we have comprehension. Okay, what is comprehension? As an officer, we need to understand so many files, especially in that file different matters will be there. Okay, so it may be from an environment perspective, it may be from the economic perspective, it may be from the societal perspective. So all things how we understand. Okay, here in this, basically the paragraph will be given to you, and based upon that some questions will be given to you. Okay, the paragraph and the questions. Okay, like the questions may be like, what is the theme of this passage, or what is the crux of this passage, or they will give some questions. Okay, they will give some questions. If you want, you can see that. So if you see here, you can see that, right? Okay, like passage is here, like one passage is given, and which of the following is best implied in the passage they are asking. So you need to read this passage and answer. Here also they are giving one passage and asking, on the basis of the passage you need to read the statement and answer. Okay, so this is basic. Here you are checking which one of the following is most logical and rational inference from the passage. Okay, so different questions will be asked. Different questions will be asked based upon the passage. One thing you need to understand, that whatever is given in that passage, only that you must be able to comprehend. It is not like that. If something is given in the passage that crow is white, you need to answer that it is white only. Based upon the passage you need to answer, not upon your knowledge outside it. Sometimes it happens, they might have studied environment, so many topics, environmental impact assessment, so many topics they might have studied, but in the passage a author may be giving his opinion according to it. Okay, it may be different compared to what he has studied. So don't answer out from the outside knowledge. That is very, very important in the comprehension. Okay, whatever they are giving, whatever they are giving in the passage, adhere to that, don't go beyond that. Okay, anyway, in the classes we will understand like how to understand. How it looks very simple, but we'll make mistake in these passages. Okay, that in the classes we'll go through one by one, like how, what trick, what keywords need to be followed, how to understand different words in the passage, everything need to be followed. And actually UPSC is giving almost weightage 50% we can say, or at least 40% weightage to comprehension only. The paper is full of passages. Why? Because as an administrator you need to follow, so means read so many documents, so many files, everything. So your comprehension, understanding the subject should be very perfect, means it should be, you should be very comfortable in analyzing the things. Okay, that's why they give 40%. Sometime earlier it was 50% also, but at least 40% weightage is given to the comprehension. Please understand the importance. Fine. Okay, the next part is interpersonal skills, including communication skills. Though nowadays they are not asking questions from this topic, but don't think like that they will never ask. So again they may come back. They may come back and give questions on the interpersonal skills and communication skills. So what do you mean by that? And this is also important for an administrator, because if I am a good communicator, then I can administer very well. Okay, what is basically communication is? So if I am delivering to you on one-sided way, that is not communication. That is not communication. Okay. So if I am delivering to you and if I am able to get back answers from you, and so that I know that what I have delivered, the same thing is conveyed to me. What I have delivered, the same thing is understood by you people. So that is the importance of communication. It is not one-sided. The speaker and the receiver should acknowledge what speaker has said. Then it is the best communication. Correct? Okay. And interpersonal skill, definitely. When we are responding to the other person in front of us, when we are talking to a person in front of us, we need to know his pulse. Okay, based upon his action, based upon his mood, we need to respond. Correct? That is the good skill required for our administrator. So that we need to develop. So they may check them through some questions. Okay. And decision making and problem solving skills. So you need to club these two. Okay. Earlier decision making problems are also like 8 questions they used to give. Later they gave 6. Sometimes they have deleted that also. The reason is, in the decision making, you cannot say only one answer is correct. So they used to give 2 options as correct out of A, B, C, D. So 2 are correct. So it is not that easy to guess for a student. You need to, possibly one is the possibility of making that question right is more. Okay, so they don't want to give easy choice. But anyway, again they will come back with the decision making skills. For example, if you take the UPSC exam, so they asked one question in the decision making. Just let us understand. Okay, so flood has happened in a state, that is in Chennai, and the boats are required to rescue the citizens. You are the in charge of the district, and the boat owners are refusing. What they are saying, we don't want to come. Why? Because whatever is given from the government side is very less. Maybe like a 250 is fixed in the contract. Now they are demanding per trip we need to give 1000 rupees, then only will come. Okay, government contract says 250 rupees and they are demanding, okay, so give at least 1000 rupees. What will you do in such scenario? Option number A, write to higher authorities. Okay, they are demanding so and so, what to do. Second thing, give them whatever they are demanding and save their lives. And C, put the new contract, call for a new tender and go ahead with this. And D, that threaten them with a legal action. So because you are violating the rule, legal action will be taken and you will be punished for that. So obey the rule and serve the people. So which is best among this was the question. Okay. So answers from the students will be like, yes. If you are giving answer like, okay, I will report to the higher authorities, then why you are sitting there? If you cannot take decisions during the emergency time, okay, what is the purpose of you acting as a district collector. Am I right? So that is not good option rolled out. Okay, going for a new tender, new contract. Because if you sanction tomorrow, the people may write in the newspaper like, okay, the DC is having nexus with the boat owners, so he has eaten money inside that. He is corrupt. So in order to avoid that, you are going for new tender. Do we have that much time? Correct. So people are dying there. Correct. So you need to save them immediately. So that option is not good option. Coming to another option, giving them whatever they are demanding and tell them to serve. Another option is threatening. Okay, which one is correct here? Which one is correct here? See here, the two concepts, the two mindset, both will work out. Because of the fear, they may start doing the work. Another thing is, yes, whatever they are demanding, you please give them and save the lives. Which is better here? You can have two perspectives. Both can be right. And UPSC has given both as right. But if you are threatening them, sometimes we say that don't put half-hearted efforts. Half-hearted efforts will never give the full result. Okay? Instead, it gives no result. So if you are forcing them, they may start playing like they will go, people are not available, simply they will come back. So they start doing all this nonsense. Correct? But possibility is there. Another thing is, make them happy now so that the people lives will be saved. So if future allegations will come, whatever, yes, I have done something good for the city, I will be happy to take the blames and I am ready to face the inquiry. I don't have problem. My primary aim is to save the people. So here, which one is correct? Both can be correct. It cannot say that this is correct and that is based upon situation. You need to take the decision. So these are the decision making and also the problem solving skills they are going to approach. Means they are going to test through such examples. Okay, please you need to understand that. And like logical reasoning and analytical ability. Again, the qualities required by the administrator. Analytical ability. You need to analyze the things. Why this is like this? Why it is like this? Correct? So before taking any decision, you need to do analysis. Logical reasoning. You need to think. From your mind, you need to answer. Okay, why it is like this? Okay, so such questions like logical reasoning questions and analytical ability questions will be asked. Okay, so I will take the syllabus first and I will solve some problems. How it will be, we'll solve. And here, general mental ability. So logical reasoning, how you think they want to test. General mental ability, that is with respect to calculations. You might have studied, you might have understood train. Means train questions can be given. Like a train comes from the opposite, another trains come, two trains meeting against each other. Okay, what happens? Means what is the speed, in how much time it will pass. Correct? So in the general mental ability, okay, so they are basically checking how you are able to perceive the things outside. Don't look like a chopper. Okay, the common things. Okay, if something is approaching from the opposite, correct, it will go very fast. The speed will be very high. Within no second you will pass. You and your friend are coming in the opposite train. Just a fraction of second you will pass. That means speed is very high when it is coming opposite. You should be able to comprehend. Means you should be able to analyze that. When we are going together, okay, speed will be slow. So whether you are able to understand this, your mental ability is in line with this or not, they will check that. Similarly, in the boats and streams questions, like you are going in the downstream, obviously your speed will be more because water is flowing downside. When you are coming back, the speed will be less because it is opposing you. So you need to be able to understand that. In men and work chapter, more the number of men, obviously more work. Or more the number of men, the same work will be completed within a shorter span of time. Correct? These are all common sense we need to understand. Or there may be two persons, but one is having more efficiency compared to other. Obviously, more efficient, more work will be done. Such knowledge they are going to check here. Correct? Such things they are going to check here. Okay? And okay, in the general mental ability, such questions will be asked. Similarly, the basic numeracy, you should be able to play with the numbers. After becoming an officer, always the numbers are seen. Correct? So the statistics is very important. Okay, like numbers and their relations, order of magnitude, that is of class 10th level they are saying, and data interpretation. Okay, charts, graphs, tables, data sufficiency, all these are tested in this exam. Okay, all these are tested in this exam. We'll see, actually we'll understand it in a better manner by taking some examples. Okay, we'll open up one test paper of the UPSC and we'll see how actually they are asking different type of questions here. Okay. Okay, so it's better to understand the CSAT questions, how actually the questions are asked. What is the type of questions? Just we'll analyze. It is not important for us to solve right now. So, what type of questions actually asked? So here you can see like you have two straight sticks. One is 7.5 feet, another is 3.25 feet. What is the minimum length can you measure? Minimum length can you measure? So when they are giving like this is the minimum out of these two, right? So what else we can measure other than 3.25 feet? Just think about it. Can we measure 1 foot? How? Okay. Is there any possibility? See here, if you keep it like they are already giving two statistics, right? So if you can give like 3.25, what is the remaining actually? What is the remaining? 3.25 and another 3.25. What happens? It becomes 6.5. Correct? So what is left out is 1 foot. So in the initial stage, by seeing that, okay, 3.25 is the minimum thing. Correct? Suddenly we'll rush like that. But if you see, okay, if I use like this, 3.25, so if I double it again 3.5, finally it comes to 6.5. Another 0.1 feet is there, no? So by using that you can measure 1 foot also. So correct option is 1 foot. Okay, so how they will check your knowledge? It looks something, but answer is something. So we'll understand this. Two statements S1 and S2 are given below following the question. Okay, so there are not more than two figures on any page of a 51 page book. Okay, there is at least one figure on every page. So what they are saying, 51 page book is there, total 51 pages. At max two figures are there and minimum one is there. Okay, so question is, are there more than 100 figures in that book? Are there more than 100 figures in that book? Okay, which one of the following is correct in respect of the above statements in that question? Okay, see here it is not necessary to answer this question, just analyzing how you are able to understand the given data. It is not necessary to answer actually 100 figures are there or 90 figures are there, but whether you are able to answer using these two statements. So whether that S1 and S2 statements are sufficient to answer this question. So if you are able to solve this, assume that only one figure is there in the each page. Okay, because they are saying that, correct? Okay, at least one will be there. That means we can guaranteely say that 51 figures are there, and they are saying that not more than two figures. How can we say that? Whether where two number of diagrams are there, we don't know. Anywhere it is given, they are saying not more than two figures, so it may be one. Guaranteely we can say that 51. So if you look at the options, both S1 and S2 are sufficient to answer the question, but neither S1 alone nor S2 alone is sufficient to answer the question. We cannot say that, because if in every page 2 diagrams are there. It can be 102, correct, more than 100. And there is at least one figure on every page. Guaranteed we can say 51, but we cannot say that. There may be, there is a possibility like in all the pages 2 diagrams are there. So it amounts to 102, 51 into 2, correct. So how can you say that whether it is more than 100 or not? First thing, independently it is impossible, okay, and together also not possible. So S1 alone not sufficient, S1 and S2 together are not sufficient to answer the question, S2 alone is sufficient, sorry, together even including both it is not possible to answer that question. Are you understanding the thing? So how the questions will be asked, okay, they want to see how you analyze the things. And here they are asking about a family and their relationship, correct. They are consisting, we are not going to solve that, just understand 6 members are there, 3 males and 3 females, 2 married couple and 2 unmarried siblings. They are explaining the relation. U is the daughter, Q is R's mother-in-law, T is an unmarried male, S is the male. Which of the following is correct? So you need to solve this question by understanding, like writing in detail the relations, okay. By notations you need to solve such questions. After that you will be able to answer these questions. So we will understand the nature of questions. It is very important to see old questions before solving the things. See, we said that numeracy is there, correct. So here they are checking your numeracy, basic numbers, how you are able to understand what is the largest number among the following, correct, largest number. So basically you know that it is like 1 by 2 to the power of minus 6, also can be written like 2 raised to 6. Here it can be written like 4 raised to 3, 3 to the power of 4 and 6 to the power of 2. So now you are able to answer that questions easily. What is actually 2 to the power of 6? You can write that down and write down 4 into 4 into 4, 3 into 3 into 3 into 3, 6 into 6. So it's easy to answer this question now, correct. So based upon numeracy, how they are asking the questions, okay. So in the mental ability you can see like here they are comparing the adult population of a city, what percentage men are there, what percentage women are there, okay. So now you are able to visualize. See, for example, this is the city. In this 40% men and 30% women are married, correct. Suppose this is 40% and this is 30%, okay. 40% men and 30% women are married. So if you are writing like this, in this men it is 40% men are married, remaining 60% men are not married. Similarly, if you are writing for women, so 30% women are married, that is 70% women are not married, correct. What is the percentage of the married adult population if no man marries more than one woman and no woman marries more than one man and there are no widows and widowers? So here you can see that out of the total men and women we are comparing. So if you are taking 100 men are there, correct, 100 women are there. So but here it should match, right? The 40% of the men should match with the 30% of the women in that city. It is because that means we cannot take the population of men as 100 and population of women as 100. So we need to compare them equal. When it is equal, then it is possible to answer overall how many what are the percentage of married adult population. So anyway, that we will understand in the percentage chapter, how to correlate these two, okay. And data interpretation question was there, data interpretation, because you need to see the reports sometimes. Here year is mentioned, birth rate, death rate is mentioned, okay. So you should be able to understand the data and answer the question, for which period was the natural growth rate is maximum. We should be knowing to compare the growth rate from the given data, okay. That is the data interpretation. After calculating, then you can answer this, okay, in which period the natural growth rate was maximum, okay. So here you can see the 2500 need to be distributed among 3 people. In what ratio? in like 1 by 2, 3 by 4 or 5. What is the difference between the maximum share and the minimum share? So here in the partnership, how the shares need to be divided based upon the proportion, correct? Suppose you are getting 100 rupees, how it will be distributed, correct? So 30 for someone, 40 for someone, and remaining 30 for somebody else. So how to solve such problems, correct? So that is through ratios and proportions and also partnership that we will analyze. Okay, so sometimes the questions like this will be given. For example, a person wants to travel from A to B. Okay, the conditions will be given. In how many ways he can reach the B? In how many ways person can reach B? One conditions is only he can travel right or travel down. That is, like this he can move or like this he can move. So in such scenarios, if you go like, see, one route, so another route, second, and third route, fourth route, fifth route, sixth. So possibility maximum answer will be 6. So why I am showing this picture? The thing is, when you are doing this, so you should go in a proper order. If you are going like this, okay, 1 is and 2, wherever you are finding, if you are going, definitely will miss out because options will be like 4, 5, 6, 7. So you should go in a proper order. Each completing after each thing only you should move to other level. Then only you will find the answer. Okay. And sometimes the counting principles question will be given, like how many triangles are there, how many squares are there. So it goes on. So basically we have understood the syllabus. So comprehension, how the passages were given and answers we need to do. Interpersonal skills and including communication skills and decision making skills. Okay, I have discussed 1 or 2 questions. Logical reasoning and analytical ability. So how they are making you to think, correct? General mental ability, questions related to train, boats, men, work, correct? All these things can be asked. And the data interpretation is very important because as an officer you are going to see lot of pie charts, bar diagrams, tables, and you need to infer from that. You need to analyze from that. Okay, what action need to be taken? For example, in the case of COVID, how the disease is spreading, the based upon report you should be able to see, correct? Fine. Anyway, in the classes, CSAT classes, you will enjoy, you will learn many things, and it is required for your life also. So this is about the syllabus of the CSAT, that is the General Studies Paper 2. So I have completed the preliminary part, that is General Studies Paper 1 and General Studies Paper 2. So together, if you qualify the CSAT and score the marks above cutoff in the GS1, you will be eligible to mains. So we will be discussing the mains syllabus in detail in the coming sessions. Okay, thank you.